Welcome everyone, this is John Ryan of SportsMemo.com, and this is the March 8th edition of the Daily Dime. This is a men's college basketball show that we've been doing for several months now. My usual co-host on Tuesdays is Jesse Schule, also of SportsMemo.com, and also a tremendous professional sports bettor in his own right. And that's the difference at Sports Memo, is that we actually bet the games that we give out, and that's the way I think it's supposed to be. So welcome to the show, Jesse. We're going to get started right away with this game in the ACC, and this is the first round of the ACC tournament. And we have the NC State Wolfpack as a 5-point underdog against Clemson. Clemson is 63% of the love right now, meaning that that's 63% of the tickets. On the year, the Clemson Tigers are 16-15 against the spread. They're 3 games over 500. The Wolfpack is 11-20. Boy, when did you last see a record like that for the Wolfpack? 11-20, 7-24 against the spread. I'm thinking initially here that there might be some value in North Carolina State because we know the public won't be on them. But what do you think of this matchup, Jesse?
Well, you got that right. It looks like the public's probably going to be all over Clemson here. They finished the season strong. They won 4 straight. They played strong defense in those games, allowing just 63 points per game. NC State, the opposite can be said about them. They lost 4 straight. They'll be the underdog for good reason tonight, but I've got my eye on the total, and I find at this time of year, scoring's down. Often the bookmakers fail to account for that. The totals are often based on the season averages rather than the more recent averages. And 7 of the last 10 head-to-head meetings between these two teams went under. The total was under 140 in 3 of the last 4 of those meetings. The last time they went over, it was 74-70 in overtime. And barring overtime here, with the total in the 40s, 143, I believe it is. I like the under here.
Yeah, it's 143.5. I'm seeing at some places, but where would you not like it? If it, like, say, it gets steamed down to say as low as 139.5, is there a level that you would just say, well, no, I'm just going to pass, or if the game starts
I'd,
out
I'd, I'd
fast, I'm
draw the
going to give
line
an
at
in game?
140 and a half.
140.5. Okay. Good job there. I'm with you on that as well. I think first round unders is the mentality of all of us, professional guys. There's no reason with the history behind that first round, especially the first round of the NCAA tournament, which we'll talk about next Tuesday, which will be a big show for us, come to think of it. The under is the play. So under NC State Wolfpack Clemson Tigers, where Jesse's going with that game. My game here is way out west, and this is the Road Runners of Cal State Bakersfield going up against Cal State Northridge. And you just got to love these mascots. I mean, neither team here is. The only thing good about them, Jesse, is they have a really cool mascot. That's the only thing I'm going to say with all due respect. Cal State Northridge has a mascot called the Matadors. There's only one other team in the nation that has a mascot called the Matadors. And nobody else, I don't think, has. Oh, no, University of Texas San Antonio, I think, is the Road Runners, too, if I'm right. But they're pretty cool mascots. And this game's taking place at 9 o'clock p.m. at the Dollar Loan Center in Henderson, Nevada. And this is the second first-round match of the first-round matchups. The other matchup is Cal Poly Slow Mustangs against the UC Davis Aggies. So we already know there's plenty of other Aggies out there. But the team situations are horrendous. The Roadrunners are certainly not in good form. They've won just 1 game in their last 13. They've covered the spread just once in those 13 games. Against the spread, winner was a road 81-79 loss, priced as a 6-point underdog on February 19th. Their only win was a 61-60 win over that struggling Cal Poly Slow program. And I say that with all due respect. And they failed to cover the spread as 1.5, so they lost by the hook. Otherwise, they would have had 2 wins in the last 13. So I'm not on anything on the side here, but these teams struggle to score points offensively. And neither one is going to want to play fast if they want to advance. And it's as simple as that. So I'm going with the under. And the under is backed by a system here that's gone 149-88. for 63% winning bets over the last 25 basketball seasons, and the requirements are to bet under in a neutral court setting with one of the teams getting outscored by at least 4 points per game. In this case, it's both of them, and are coming off 4 games in which they scored 65 or fewer points in each one. System's 3-0 this season already, Jesse, and I'm going to the window with a 3%er on the under, and I'll look to get 129.5. I'm not sure if it's there yet, but that's what I'm going to wait for, and if not, I'll just bang it out about an hour before game time. So the third and final game is the marquee matchup, I think, on this card, and I actually was on the under last night with Gonzaga, and barely held on there. Wow, I mean, that game got a lot closer than I thought it was going to be. I also had the first half on the Daily Dime show yesterday, Gonzaga, -7, and that won easily. But then they came on big time, and it was very impressive what the Dons did. You know, does St. Mary's have the recipe to upset these guys twice in the same season, Jesse?
I don't know about that, but they might have the recipe to stay within 13 points.
Yeah, I would agree with that for sure. What else do you see in this matchup?
Well, to be honest with you, I was looking forward to betting the under here, but I was actually expecting the number to open a little higher than it did, and at 140 and a half, I lost interest. But I'm looking at St. Mary's here. They're getting 13 points, which is roughly the same as the Dons were getting in last night's game against Gonzaga. Obviously, St. Mary's is a better team than the Dons. They've had more success against Gonzaga. They just recently won 67-57 against Gonzaga at home. And the Bulldogs have failed to cover in 5 of their last 6 overall. We saw them blow that lead last night against San Francisco. I was impressed with St. Mary's, even though I did bet against them last night. I got a little bit lucky, actually, with Santa Clara because that final score wasn't really reflecting how well St. Mary's played and how much better they were than Santa Clara. St. Mary's shot 49% from the field, 46% from 3-point range. If they can shoot like that against Gonzaga, I think they should keep this game close.
And a lot of times in these tournament games, Jesse, as you know, free throw percentage is a bigger weight in my models, and there's an advantage here with St. Mary's. So if this is a single-digit game, the advantage goes significantly in favor of St. Mary's at the line. They rank 26th in the nation, making an average of 81.3% of their free throws. It reminds me of a team like Oral Roberts last year who used their free throw expertise to upset Ohio State, if you remember. And we could see a similar result in this game. So I agree with you. I think 13 points is, you just have to grab it. The betting public, what are they thinking? I mean, the common sense thing, which oftentimes common sense doesn't win bets, is that Gonzaga has got revenge, and they're going to want to kick the living daylights out of these guys. And I don't see it. I think if anything, St. Mary's is now in their head. And
I think even if you like that revenge angle, you're looking for a line of 10.5, and that, which I think would be a fair price. That's where I'd set it. When you get over 12, 13, where's the value? Even if you like Gonzaga tonight, there's really no value. I mean, you're just not getting a good price to play that angle.
Absolutely. All right, so there you have it. We have our 3 games broken down. We're under in the North Carolina State game. We're under in the Bakersfield Northridge game. And we are on the St. Mary's team here. And I'm going to suggest sprinkling the money line again, because I do think they have the confidence and the recipe that is needed to upset the Bulldogs twice in the same season. So that's a game that I'm going to try to stay up and watch for sure. Jesse, thanks as always for being with me on the Tuesday edition of the Daily Dime Show. We're going to be back tomorrow on Wednesday with another edition, which will include Don Buster and Rocky Atkinson, both of SportsMemo.com. And I will be doing an NBA triple-double by myself, but it's really quick and really short later today. So, I mean, until we see you tomorrow, always remember 2 things. That with your head and not over it, and may all the wins be yours. Thanks again for watching, and ring that bell.